Hello lords and ladies, welcome back to Cartoon Hangout, your place for all things cartoon. So it's probably been a while since I reviewed this show, but honestly with such diminishing returns, I just wasn't feeling that up to it. It started off good, then quickly took a right turn off a ledge. It's not the worst show I've seen, oh no, but it's just really boring. With that spiel out of the way, let's get into this week's new episode, shall we? Up first is Wrapture, the very punny episode that has nothing remotely to do with the Rapture, so I have no idea why they named it as such. I like puns, but at least make it something to do with the actual episode. Alright, that's a slight nitpick, so let's move on. To be fair, Wrapture isn't all that bad. Maybe my standards have hit rock bottom at this point, but I actually found it rather entertaining. Pedro loses his wraps thanks to Mavis and goes through the entire episode trying to replace them, and it genuinely ended up being pretty fun. And for once, the ending to the story wasn't so abrupt it ruined the flow. The only negative thing I have to say is about Mavis's behavior. I know she's depicted as being pretty lazy and mischievous in previous episodes, not sure if this is accurate to the movies, and this is probably the result of being a teenager, but this episode really took it a step too far for me. She's the reason Pedro loses his wraps in the first place because she finds them drying off and decides to hit them with an axe, set them on fire, and scatter the ashes to the wind? Sure, she's not aware of who they belong to, but surely she could have taken a good guess as to what they were. Why go to such extremes to get rid of them? But archaic, it's just for comedic purposes. Okay, but this struck me as plain mean, not funny. And it does more to make Mavis out to be a bad person than a comedic one. Her punishment at the end is deserved. The next one is becoming Klaus, which also isn't that bad an episode, if just a tad so-so. I like that Klaus goes through the trouble of making Mavis look just like him, only for his plan to backfire because he hadn't really stolen her friends. And all over a too slow joke. The whole thing was comical in a way, though it's weird to now realize that Mavis is actually walking around with one of her fangs and one of his. Huh. Well, there's nothing else to talk about. Nothing much else happens in this one. I basically just told you the entire episode's plot. And those were my thoughts on episode 11. Got any of your own to share? Comment below. Thanks for watching and take care.